Sweet, beautiful souls. Hello and welcome back. The hard truth about healing our physical bodies. This is what we are diving into today, and my goal, my intention is to save you the years, the decades, the months of wondering, will this go away? Will I ever find the answer? Will I ever find the solution? The emotional and mental turmoil of not being in right relation with your body and ultimately with your higher self, which is what we're going to dive into. And this has been such a beautiful journey, a really difficult journey for myself. And I really want to equip you with everything that you need in order to shorten the gap so that it doesn't take you all of this time and energy to really be in vibrant health. So that is what we were diving into. If you are new, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. If you are not subscribed to the podcast, go ahead and subscribe there. And if you feel called, leaving a review always helps so immensely and so greatly. And I'm just grateful for you, your essence, your presence, because truly, as we raise ourselves, as we raise the collective, everything improves, everything grows and expands. And this is really coming into that unity consciousness of this beautiful new earth we are weaving and creating together. And part of that is going to require you to live in your body, fully equipped with the tools and resources and energetic alignment of who you are. So I want to begin with ultimately what your body is. Now you're probably like, Jasmine, but like I went to elementary school. Like I know my body is like a compilation of cells and neurons and mitochondria and this fleshy skin that holds it all together. And yes, this is what we were taught about the body. We were taught a lot about the body. And this is all helpful and supportive. And I think it's important to understand the physical mechanisms of the body because we are, after all, a spiritual being in a physical body. So there's always going to be both. There's always going to be the balancing of the energetic and the spiritual and the physical. But what are we deeper than just a body? Well, this body is ultimately the greatest form of communication that you have with your soul, higher self, and God, source, divine, the universe, whatever word feels right for you. Our bodies are quite literally the direct communication that our soul and higher self has with us. And if you are, my goodness, especially in the US, you've probably seen we don't really have a healthcare system. We have more of a sick care system. We have more of a system that keeps people sick, that helps to suppress symptoms rather than working with the body to unravel it and understand it. Now, my goal and hope and dream, and really I believe where we're headed, and there's so many beautiful, incredible people pioneering this and technologies coming online to help support us in this, but we have a lot working against us in this time that we are in, and we also have a lot supporting us in this time that we're in. And so really it is up to us to tune to what we want to put our focus and energy on. And simply a law of the universe is what we focus on expands. So if we are focusing on the lack of health in our body, that expands. And you're not doing this on for funsies, I get that. Like it is literally these thought forms that are pulsed into the collective that you are unwell, that you need something to fix you. And the solution is this drug, prescription, pharmaceutical, X treatment, XYZ, you name it, right? And so what does this do though? What does this do energetically? Well, when we do something without really tuning into the deeper layers and levels of our body, what we're ultimately saying is, you understand my body, I do not. You have the power and degrees and credentials, and I do not. You have the awareness of my body, and I do not. You have the power to fix me, and I do not. This is the unconscious communication and signal that we are emitting and in collaboration with when we are not taking the time to tune in to why our body is expressing in the first place. So here's what often usually happens is our bodies begin to talk to us in the small things. We stub our toe. We have a ache and pain in an area of our body. We have a little tickle in our throat. We have a headache a few days a week. And we just start ignoring it. We ignore these little things. But then it's like, now it's a migraine. Now the pain that was like there just after working out is there like all the time. And it's getting more intense. The tickle in the throat is now like I'm constantly clearing my throat. And there are all of these, I'm always getting sore throats. And so these things, when we ignore them, and then this eventually it's, oh, now I have this autoimmune disease. Now it is the body is expressing as cancer or, oh my goodness, any host of thyroid conditions, of these illnesses that doctors are saying, we haven't seen this before. This is incurable. Or the only solution for it that we know of is this pill, or the only solution that we know of is to take out the whatever from the body. And as someone who has gone through in my own personal experiences through the sick care system and who has also been to school, to nutrition school, naturopathic school, for seeing how the body works and learning what we're doing to treat the body in a natural way, I have still seen so many holes, so many things that we're missing. And that ultimately is this dialogue and communication with our body. Now, let's go back to Jasmine with ultimately much of my life curious and wondering what is going on with my body. Why is my body expressing in this way? Going to doctor after healer after whatever, you name it. And feeling like it was like a game of whack-a-mole. Like, okay, that is kind of gone, and now another thing pops up, and then that gets kind of gone, and then another thing pops up, and next thing you know, it's like all of these things, and it's like, well, why is this taking place? Why is this taking place? And I've seen this so often with many of my clients over the years. I often attract the people who have gone to all of the people and who have, like me, had these roller coaster of a ride with their health and their journey with their bodies. And what happens? What happens when we are continuously working to try to heal ourselves? Inevitably, we begin to lose trust in our body and in ourselves. And so I get it, because it's like, why, like, body, why are you doing this? Why are you acting up again? Why are you expressing this way again? And it can be really frustrating. It can be really frustrating. And I get it. Like, I really believe that so much of what I have been through is so that I have uniquely coded in me. When people come to me, they truly feel so seen, so understood in a way that I didn't feel when I went to a lot of practitioners. I didn't feel that they actually understood what I was going through. And so when people come to me, I feel like one of the greatest gifts is that I really deeply understand, I understand, and people feel safe and held. And this is where the healing and transformation takes place. It doesn't take place in a sterile hospital where there is no dialogue with our inner world. So this is what the body is. Yes, it is a culmination of cells and mitochondria and organs and tissues and glands and all of these processes, of course. And it is also our direct communication with our soul, with our higher self, and with God's source divine. Now, each and every one of you, all of us on the planet, have a soul mission that you and only uniquely you can fulfill, that you came here in this lifetime to achieve. Now, you don't need to know exactly what it is. Most people won't, but there are things that you will do that will be living in alignment with it. And here's the thing, it is not going to be a job, a profession. It is oftentimes going to be a way of being, a way of doing, a way of living, of creating, a thing that only uniquely you can do. A merging of 2 or 5 or 10 things, or a way of thinking and perceiving or sharing or creating. There is something that only you can do. So if you are not fulfilling this, if you are off path, one of the best tools to communicate with you about this imbalance is for your higher self to talk to you via the body, for your soul to talk to you via the body, to say, hey, this isn't quite working. You're not quite on track. I'm going to put up these bumpers to like try and get you to pay more attention. And when we don't pay attention, the bumpers now have to become like have razors on them and then become more painful, right? And so this is when we see these very difficult and challenging diseases and diagnoses occur, because it is the way that our soul and higher self are communicating to us. There is an imbalance. There is an imbalance. And it's not always just that we are not on our soul path. There are many things that happen along our journey. So really, our body is this beautiful divine map. It's this beautiful divine map of, oh my goodness, the body is so perfect in how it is created. And we have just come to see it as like this thing that it's just acting haphazardly and we don't know. So let's just suppress it. But ultimately, every single way in which our body is communicating to us has a message. So a headache is so often we are overthinking something. We are ruminating on something even from our past. And this can be unconscious. You might not even know what this is. Eye problems are so often a lack of clear vision, a what are we not seeing? What do we not want to see? Throat, thyroid issues are a suppression of our expression. And as we can go through the whole body, right? And the wildest thing, the miraculous thing about these bodies is it might not even be from this life. Now, Jasmine, what would be the point in that? What would be the point in our body expressing to us something that is not even from this life? Well, perhaps there is something from a past life that has within it a little pocket of encoded wisdom that when we tap into that, we now heal and pave the path for our future, for our current present life. This is why I'm very careful with just digging up past lives. I don't think that is supportive. if the body is expressing to us, if our higher self is communicating to us that there would be something important for us to know about our past lives, then absolutely, let's go in, let's take a look. But just like like going to a movie and opening up our Akashic records and past lives is, I believe, actually very irresponsible and can lead to more harm than good. So working with someone who's going to be able to see in energetically as to what's actually going to support you. Because the other thing here that we are not going to be getting into is dark forces and um, beings that aren't of the light, because that will also be the kind of exception to why some of these things also take place, and why also the body operates in ways that we don't always love as well, and why this can often happen when we just open ourselves up to past lives and the Akashic records and go into all of these spiritual things without protection, without the knowing. We can open ourselves up to this. And this is where beings who are of the light, there can be the opposing light that comes in. And so this is not something to ever be fearful about, but something to take care of. And so working with someone who can understand this and see into this and help you release this if this is the case for you. But if there is a past life that I am helping people, when a client comes to me and they're thinking it might be a past life, I always am going to energetically tune in and see, like, is this a past life? Is this from the current life? Because what I often see sometimes is that people want it to be a past life because that means they don't have to deal with what's in the right here right now. I know it's a hard truth. I've had to deal with it too. And when we don't want to deal with what's in the right here right now, and we're just like, it has to be a past life, well, then we're giving away our power to that. And we are not allowing ourselves to fully transmute and heal what our higher self and soul are telling us, like, right here, right now, this life. We got to deal with that. There's a lot that we can deal with in this life that will actually heal past lives and past iterations. And ultimately, it's all parallel lives. It's all happening all at once in the quantum. So healing what's going on right here, right now will also help all of that. And healing just things that took place in your childhood and in that coding. Because that is often where we get a lot of our stories. Like, oh my goodness, I was just talking the other day about this thing that I was still feeling guilt for in my past. And you guys are going to laugh because this is so, like, hilarious that I would literally still be holding guilt over this. When I was like 7 years old, my I was getting together with a friend after school, and another friend and her mom were driving away. Like, it was after school, and my dad says, "Do you want so and so?" Like, they stopped to say goodbye, hello, whatever. And my dad goes, "Do you want so and so to also come over?" And I said no. I said no. I'm truthful. I'm truthful. And as children, we don't understand that telling the truth can hurt people's feelings if we don't do it in the right way. So I say no. And little do I know, I'm causing this entire cascade of events. Now, this other friend is upset with me. Her mom is upset with me. Her mom is also upset with my mom. My dad is upset with me. Like, all of these things now happen because I just said no, right? And I didn't even realize I was holding guilt in my body for this. Because then when I see all of these people that I have now disturbed and upset for me saying no to wanting to spend time with this person, I just wanted to hang out with my other friend. I didn't want this other friend there. I just wanted it to be me and my friend, like that. This was the plan. It was me and the one friend, and I didn't want this other friend to come too. But then when I saw all of, like, I was very psychic and tuned in as a kid. And so when I said this, and then when I felt everyone's energy like exploded, like, that's how it felt to me as a child. oh my goodness, the guilt that I still carried literally until a few days ago and then I was like, this is silly, Jasmine. You were 7 years old. You didn't know any better back then. And so I led myself through what I lead my clients through. And we did this powerful work. And now I have forgiven myself. But here's the thing, that guilt, when held in the body, guilt is it is a toxic emotion to hold in the body. And so what our bodies will do is they will work to purge these emotions. They will work to release them, to get rid of them, to alchemize them, and to show you where you were out of balance within yourself. And while everything is in the universe is in balance, we perceive things to be out of balance. Everything is in balance. Everything in this world is balanced. It is our perception that it is out of balance, but if we hold the perception it is out of balance, we needed to come into right perception and balance that within ourselves. So for me, I led myself through what I lead my clients through. We witnessed this guilt, and I shifted that narrative in that story so that my body no longer has to carry guilt. Because here's the thing, if we're holding on to guilt, if we are holding on to anger, resentment, sadness, hurt, disappointment, lack, all of these things, whether it is from this life or a past, it will, not if, but when, express in the body. And if it's not expressing in your body, it's expressing in your finances, it's expressing in your relationships, it's expressing in your health, it's expressing in your life, or all of the above. And that is what happens. So we have to come into right relationship with what has transpired. We have to identify the energy. It doesn't mean we have to always dig up everything and no, we have to identify the energy and then we can shift it. We can clear it, we can release it. But if your body is expressing to you any type of ailment, any type of thing, the body is communicating with us 24/7, 25/7. The body is always communicating with us. Every little thing, every twitch, every itch, every dis-ease, it is all a communication from our body, from our higher self. And so one of the greatest tools that we can learn, the greatest tool, is how to communicate with our body, with our higher self, with our soul, with source. Because the more that we outsource our communication and our dialogue with our body, the louder it is going to get. The more that we are signaling to our body that another's opinion is more important than ours. And that is never going to heal the body. And we live in this time where science is very highly valued. And I think science can be a beautiful tool, but it should never, ever, ever be the replacement to your intuition and to what your body and higher self are telling you. Absolutely ever. You know, it can be really easy to look at some people and say, well, they healed themselves doing keto. They healed themselves being vegan. They healed themselves juicing. They healed, like, it must work for me. It must, but did you ask your body? Did you ask your higher self? And this is why when I am in sessions with people, I am communicating with your body, with your higher self, and with your soul to bring forth the information to your human so that your human and mind can get on board. And now we have the answers and solutions for whatever it is. While this is specifically about health and healing in our bodies, this truly applies to any area of your life, in your romantic relationships, in your friendships, in your community, in your business, in your work, in your company, in your living situations, in every aspect of your life, this applies. Because everything is a mirror. It's all a mirror of something. And this is why it doesn't really matter what's going on for anyone. It's all energy. It is all energy. And that's what we need to be looking at, is these reflections and how the universe is communicating to us externally and how our body is communicating to us, right? And so this would be my biggest hope and, oh my goodness, desire, is that we begin to have widespread these facilities that people can go to and have the ability to, first of all, before all of this, we all have to develop our intuition. We all have to learn this language and communication. This will help us with every aspect of our life, of every single day, of every single moment, of every single second. Learning our intuition, learning to trust our intuition, right? And then when we cannot hear our intuition, when we cannot get clear, because here's the thing, we get into heightened emotions sometimes over things. And when things are really scary in the body, it can be hard to hear that clear communication. And so my hope and dream is that we would have places where, oh my goodness, there are intuitives and you could call them psychics that are trained in talking with the soul and the higher self to reflect back to you and to share with you, this is what's out of balance. This is what the body is needing. It might be an herb. It might be a vacation. It might be changing of locations. It might be quitting a job. It might be leaving a marriage. It might be leaving a friend. It might be having a conversation that you need to have and you've been putting off. It might be following that desire to do that thing that you've been wanting to do, but think that it has nothing to do with this health thing, and it does. I might be doing that. And this is what our bodies are expressing to us. They're never doing anything wrong. It's never trying to hurt you. It's never leading you astray. Your body is your greatest coach, support system, advocate, healer, cheerleader. Your body wants everything for you to be amazing. And it's trying to communicate that to you via any imbalance. And so if you need help with these imbalances, help with seeing how to see and communicate with your body, this is where one-on-one work is going to support you in this. Reach out and see what way would be beneficial to you, whether it is just one session or we work together for a while into creating and strengthening this muscle. Or if you just want the miracle frequency, you just want to learn how to you want to just dip your toe in and begin to communicate with your angels and guides and your soul and yourself, that is where this will come in. This will give you how to live in divine communion. We have meditations in there to clear out the stagnant energy so that you can hear your clear communication. There's so much value in there. And if you're just not sure of what would be the best support for you, reach out and we will have a chat. We will see what would be most supportive for you. All of the information will be below for that. And with that, I am just sending you all infinite love and light.